The group discussion will be on Global Point. Since Global Point is ours, it's not limited, so we want your opinions, ideas inside. So the group discussion will be on Global Point. So you can make a group, which is going to be easier. Stand up and make a group. It's not allowed to be friends. It's also another opportunity to network more. So make a group. Be quick. Each group should have 40 people, 4 members inside. Once again, the first section questions will be for all of the groups. All of you guys will discuss on section 1 and section 2. There is 3 pillars. The first one is hunger and food security. The second one will be climate change and environment. And the third one, jobs, skills, and youth employment. And you will choose one of this to discuss, not all of these 3 pillars, only one of this. And the third section will be for all of you, implementation and partnerships. It's for all of you guys. We will display it step by step. This is for all of you guys, and you can. If you have any questions, you can ask.
ሁላችሁም 5 ደቂቃ አላችሁ ሐሳባችሁን ኦርጋናይዝ ለማድረግ then ወደ ፕሬዘንቴሽን ነው የምንገባው።
Three groups there, second and the third one. 3, 4. You will reflect. You can reflect.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Aisha Ahmed Siraj. I'm a medical doctor and also a membership officer of the big World Merit Addis Ababa, because we were told not to call ourselves small, so I'll say the big World Merit Addis Ababa. So from the 3 sections, I'll be presenting about section 1. And the first question says, how do you understand Global Point as a youth-led platform? So as a youth-led platform, we understand Global Point as something that gives us visibility and helps us address job scarcity, food security, and climate change. And for the second question is, why is youth leadership important in solving hunger, climate change, and unemployment? So the youth is the most affected and the longest impact. Youth leadership is important because majority of the population is the youth. Hence, the youth themselves need to address the issues. This can be done by taking initiatives like leaderships, allowing visibility and being the voice we need ourselves, launching projects that call to action. So as Marta said, she said, we often talk about empowerment and empowering youth and women as if they are passive recipients and as if they can't empower themselves. But the reality is that many don't yet realize that they already have the capacity to lead themselves. While empowerment is often formed as an external gift, we believe it's an internal capacity, an internal discovery, and we need to be as the youth and youth-led organizers, we need to be their spark, or as more of their catalyst to ensure that they know and they realize that they can be their own leaders and they can be their own power and empowerment. And for the third question, it says, what unique role can young people play compared to governments or institutions? As youth people, we can be influencers culturally or free spirit, creating free ideas, being flexible, being relatable, being adaptable, building bridges, using digital platforms, and able to bring things into fruition with cost-effective, need-based membership, especially for people who are in the rural areas. Need-based mentorship is going to make them interested and more engaged. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody. I'm from the second group, and the one we chose was the one from so I'm going to answer the questions. First of all is, how do you understand Global Point as a youth-led platform? So the way how we understand it, it's a platform led by youth, for the youth, and it's done for the youth, so that's how we understand it. It empowers, creates opportunities, and ensures that all voices and perspectives of the youth are heard. The second one is importance of the youth leadership. We believe it's important because the youth, compared to other classes of society, they have more at stake, at hold, and they also they focus on the long term. They have a longer stake at the long term wise as well, and they can actually create immediate employment opportunities, contributing directly to the economic growth and community development. The third one is, what unique role can the young people play compared to government or institutions? So the youth can actually step out of the normal adapted role. They can challenge the conventional way of thinking. So that's one way they can contribute. The other is, the youth are mostly known for taking bold risks, new methods. The other is their ability to bridge in the cultural difference, the information gap, and so through that you can play a unique role compared to the governments or institutions. Any type of group recommendations that we would recommend is, we highly very much would like an inclusive, a very authentic, inclusive voice representation. For example, I can give you a quite literal example. We were discussing about it. So there was this one youth who had an idea where they can incorporate AI and technology, where when you plant a metal in the soil, it can tell you its contents, what best to plant. Is it a mango, avocado, vegetables, and all that? It can help you determine it and how to potentially help it grow in a larger scale. So this idea was very much loved and had very high chances of increasing productivity and reducing hunger. So, but because unfortunately, due to the person who is assigned there to support them did not have any background in agriculture. So the support died, and the group abandoned that idea, and they changed into something new. So because of the lack of authentic, inclusive voice, we would like that to be added as a group recommendation, and a very much high youth inclusive involvement as well. Priority areas Global Point should focus on was to ensure inclusive and meaningful engagement. Ensure meaningful youth continuous dialogue happens all the time. Provide capacity building, mentorship, resources, so that the youth can participate confidently and influence real-time outcomes. That was it. Thank you.
Okay, the third group, right here. Ladies, we are so proud of you. We should make...
Hello everyone, my name is Salihom, and I'm gonna represent you just the section 1, and it's about the general understanding of the Global Point. Okay, and when I started that, the first, how do you understand Global Point as youth-led platforms? Global Point is a youth-led it is a user-led platform which is open for all users and which participate all kinds of users in the problems like unemployment and also climate changes and so on. Okay, it focuses on the user unemployment specifically as one field, and it makes it more specific on users, and also it helps us to organize all users as one at 3 dimensions, and also it participates, and it also have more idea bankers for users which can help us to more solve the problems which have users, and also in global, also in local way. And also, youth leadership importance on solving hunger, climate, and youth unemployment. The youth is more near to the community which are vulnerable. Also, it is also, the users are also more near to the problems and also for the solutions. So we must include the users on the policy making and also in the solution ideas. Also to discuss challenge by youth. Users are more flexible and also they can communicate with the community easily for the community which are elders as well as for the community which are so much younger or the coming generations. And the last one is younger people can play lots of roles compared to with the help of governments and also in institutions like NGOs and other. With the government, they can work by making some policies and also telling some solution ideas which is they see in their own community, in their own going or in their own lives. And also with institutions, they can work so much more because they are more deeper and also more close to the communities for the problems and also for the solution methods. And our group recommendation and the priority areas are using youth creativities, capacity building, and also climate actions, not only on the things which are seen or not only on the things that we discuss, but in practical ways in which users can show the community and also for other generations in how to solve the problems. And thank you.
If you have any additional reflection on section 1, any other group? Just to add something, additional reflection on section 1? Okay, we can proceed to section 2. Section 2 on pillar 1. For A, for the first pillar, right? 1. For A, first A. 1. Any other? For A. Okay, come, I'm present.
So, hello everyone. This is Beza with Samuel from Addis Ababa University, a second-year student. Pillar-based discussion, each group should focus on pillar. So, we'll focus on hunger and food security. So, main causes for hunger in our community is the first one is political instability. So, war, crisis, conflicts are the main reason. And natural causes are also mentionable, drought, water problems, and also climate issues. And outdated agricultural systems are also the main reasons for us in order to have like hunger cases, and also our laziness should be also put it into consideration. So youth-led, the second question, or number 5, how can youth-led agricultural innovation reduce hunger? So the first is using scientific agricultural systems and also leading or empowering peoples in order to have knowledge about what they are doing and what they're working about, and also smart agricultural methods, and also organizing institutions that will work on the issues of our contemporary problems too. And the sixth question is, what role can technology, research, and policy plan and food security, we think, is holding data using more by AI because they are more accurate than the other steps or processes too, and focusing on our domestic products because we will improve our exports and decrease our imports so that our national production level will increase with that process, and also doing researches and knowing more about what we are doing. And the seventh question, how can local solutions be scaled to regional or national levels? It's an era of globalization. Everything comes into the platform that we are using. So digitalizing it will help us a lot, and doing our research in local help us as an input in international levels, so that when we experience that thing in a regional level, it will help to increase our scale more. And our recommendation is a youth-led solution to reduce hunger, increasing smart agricultural rules or agricultural systems, and attracting investment areas, and using generic modified seeds for a better product. And policy or partnership, it's obvious that every entrepreneurs or any other people should partner with others in order to improve their product ways. And also, the last question, suggested pilot projects are creating youth-led institutions to help those people who are working and trying to do their best, and also collaborating with small groups that are working on the same issues. Thank you very much.
Okay. If you have any reflection, this is open to reflect on this. Okay. If there is no, let's proceed to pillar 2. B, on B. 1. And 2. Okay. Ladies,
hello everyone. So my name is Elroy, and I'm a third-year law student at Addis Ababa University, and I'm going to present you our group reflection on pillar B, which is climate change and environment. So to start with the 8th question, how is climate change affecting youth and communities today? Climate change is already having a direct and serious impact on both youth and communities. It is causing displacement due to drought and environmental degradation, leading many families to lose their homes and livelihoods. Climate-related disasters have increased hunger and food insecurity, especially in vulnerable communities. And young people are also affected through disruptions to education. Schools are closed or children are forced to migrate. And additionally, climate stress has contributed to increased gender-based violence, as economic pressure and displacement often heighten social vulnerabilities. And so the 9th question, what climate adaptation or mitigation actions can youth lead?
So youth can play a strong role in voluntarism and community-based climate solutions. For example, traditional practices such as those used by the Konso people show how indigenous knowledge can support environmental conservation. However, these practices should be adopted and strengthened using modern innovative approaches, while letting go of methods that are no longer effective. And youth can lead projects in tree planting, water conservation, waste management, and climate awareness, blending cultural knowledge with recent scientific and technological solutions. For the 10th question, how can renewable energy and environmental education be expanded? Renewable energy and environmental education can be expanded through early education, elementary school education, innovation and awareness campaigns. Introducing climate and environmental education at the elementary level helps build long-term awareness and responsibility. So youth can promote the use of solar energy and other alternative energy sources, especially in communities with limited access to electricity. Social media can also be used effectively to spread awareness and influence positive environmental behavior. Yeah. So for the 11th question, what partnerships are needed to strengthen climate resilience? Strengthening climate resilience requires strong collaboration between different actors, and key partnerships should include government institutions, youth-led climate advocates, civil society organizations, and community groups. These partnerships allow for better coordination, access to resources, and the scaling up of youth-led initiatives. So our group recommendations, fast forward, youth-led climate actions, one. The second one is community-based climate adoption projects. Third, youth volunteering in conservation and renewable energy initiatives. Fourth, blending indigenous knowledge with modern solutions. Education and awareness strategies, environmental education starting from elementary school, as mentioned earlier. Thank you so much.
Do you have any, you can stay there, and if you have any reflections, because we don't have much time, and if you have additional reflection on this.
Hello everyone, my name is Salamait Molla. I am a freshman student in Addis Ababa University. So our group members discuss about climate change and environment, and I'm just going to say a few points like we already discussed with the first presenter the most, so I'm just gonna say some points. For example, for the first question is how are climate change risks affecting youth and communities? Like climate change is increasing the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events like floods, droughts, heat waves, etc. Which affect youth and vulnerable communities through first, loss of livelihoods in agriculture and fisheries, and second, health impacts like heat stress, vector-borne disease, etc. And the other one is displacement and migration. When it comes to some current news in Ethiopia about this thing, Ethiopia is positioning herself as a continental leader on climate action. In September 2025, Addis Ababa hosted the second Africa Climate Summit. Maybe some people know about this, and the key goal of the summit was to position Africa as a unified force to influence global climate negotiations and address the financing gap for resilient development. I'm just gonna say in health impacts, displacement and migration, and increased food and water insecurity. Climate change risks affecting youth and communities with these points. And the second question is how can adaptation and mitigation actions be youth-led? Youth can lead by organizing community-based adaptation projects, advocating for renewable energy transitions in schools and communities, and also using digital tools and social social media to raise awareness and mobilize actions. And as the last, leading research and innovation in climate solutions like green tech startups or other. Like, for example, we all know about the national tree planting. Like in June 2025, Ethiopia launched on the latest phase of its Green Legacy and initiative. So, about like the goal was of planting 7.5 billion seedlings in a single season. So youth are critically participates in these massive national-wide adaptations and mitigation efforts. Okay, in the third question, how can climate and environmental education be improved? Okay, we can improve them like by training teachers on climate science and justice, partner with NGOs and environmental agencies for practical workshops, integrate climate change into national curriculum at all education levels, and other. When it comes to our group recommendation, climate actions, educations, and awareness strategies, first, national youth climate education campaigns, and also public service announcements and social media challenges, and also youth-led community vulnerability assessments. And when it comes about the policy and advocacy programs, push for green use funds and grants, lobby for stronger environmental laws and enforcement, and others. Thank you for giving me this chance.
So thank you so much. So we only give for 2 groups on the third pillar and for the third question, for the third section. Right there. 1 group for the third pillar and for the third question, session. Okay, sure. And make it please precise because we don't have time. And we really want you to submit what you guys discuss on.
I'm going to dive straight to the points without mentioning the questions. For section 3, we chose the section C and forget about the reciting the questions. For number 12, we have pointed out there's a lack of education in both the quality and the advancement of the knowledge itself, and the curriculum in Ethiopia does not take into consideration how current the ideas, the topics are being raised, so that when the students have already graduated, they will have already been a step behind what is current at this point. And also, some of my colleagues mentioned conflicts and other major factors, like in Ethiopia during some time ago, in Amhara region, in Tigray region, students had to be laid back on their education due to that. When I go to question number 13, creating jobs and digital skills can help for the youth to become modernized, up-to-dated, like at the current economic climate. Gig economy has pushed forward, and many digital-based economics like the ride shares, the food deliveries have provided major work employability and the like, and that needs to continue and have further support from the government and also many stakeholders as well. Apologies. For question number 14, there should be a connection and collaboration between research and policy, because with the research part, we can pinpoint the issues and drill down to the core why of the ideas or the problems. And with that, there should be integration between the researchers and to the policy makers. So if the youth are involved, they can take the data and analyze it and interpret it towards the stakeholders in a way they can understand it, make it into a formally, to make it a law, and maybe publish it in the Nagarik Gazeta and other law journals. And for the last one,
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to warn you to wrap up your presentation, please.
I'm at the last.
Okay.
No worries. Let me conclude by my recommendations. Combination of research and policies is very vital because, as I've said earlier, having the data will help us pinpoint the problems and interpret into the policies, and also adding courses, topics into the curriculum about employee with entrepreneurship skills will make the youth more well-rounded, and also for the priority skills should include soft skills as well, not only the academic portions, but soft skills will help to express their knowledge. And thank you for my group members, Victoria, Sophonias, Ikram, Dershai, Eve, Tensai, Ruth, Christopher, Rogers, Marit, and Khalib. Thank you very much.
I will go and give you the answer for section 3. So the first question is, how can Global Point collaborate with government, NGO, and private sector and academies? So Global Point can serve as a unifying hub that connects youth ideas with institutional resource. Government and NGO can provide policy support, while private sector and academy can offer innovations, platform funding, and mentorship. So together they can transform youth initiative into the scalable impact projects. So the second question, how can youth projects be monitored and measured for impact? So monitoring youth projects should measure both outcomes and engagement and community benefits. So data storytelling, transparency, and strengths that accountabilities. And the third question, what strengths can support expansion from local to continental level? So for growth beyond local impacts, youth initiative needed to strong partnership, mentorship, and sustainable funding. As a conclusion, by combining collaboration, evidence based on monitoring, and sustainable funding, youth-led initiatives can expand from local impact to continental transformation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We already finalized all the questions. Thank you very much.
We would love, even though you didn't have a chance to present, we would love for you to actually give us your opinions and what you discussed, each group discussed on. So please submit your group discussions, notes, and everything to the Indarasia email. And yeah, have a good day.